Technology has played a major role in societal transformation, economic advancement, and in creating new jobs and changes in roles. All of the signs are that the rate of change, the extent of change, and the diversity of change are set to continue. Investments in technology communities and hubs are commonplace, and governments at all levels see their role in economic changes. What are some of the themes that we have seen in these which we can use in future success? Let's get into it. A series of common themes are seen, including a series of integrated activities are needed to form an emergent outcome for delivery. A staged, pragmatic, incremental approach is required. There is a need to maintain opportunities while making changes. There is a role for specific technology options, but also the need for an ecosystem-based approach, often based on an industry sector basis. A prioritized approach, perhaps based on community need like healthcare, may provide the drivers and impetus to help achieve outcomes. An educational need, whether universities, trades, or schools, is often required to underpin the ongoing operations and support. These are just some of the main themes, and some of which have a wider transformation application and role. Government plays a role, whether it is in approvals, funding, partnerships, compliance and regulatory, or local infrastructure. The major influences of government are within procurement is one of the major areas of influence, with governments being amongst the largest purchasers of services. In a balanced approach, governments can influence through prioritization to local business and smaller businesses, have larger players use and support smaller businesses in work and approaches. Incentives for business are another area where a balanced approach from government can help business and facilitate the development of technology ecosystems around market sectors or for communities. Government policy is also of influence, especially in agencies supporting startups, the innovation policies, and the seeking of services. Ongoing engagement and awareness on both how to work with government and what government seeks from business. The role in education at universities, trades, and schools. Tax is another area of government influence, with familiar tax breaks, support for research and development, as well as local purchasing support. An integrated, balanced approach across the areas enables the development of growth as well as the economic and societal return. As mentioned, one of the lessons learned is to develop an ecosystem or community around an industry sector rather than just technology. The sector is usually based on expertise, government priority, and economic expectations, and can be things like water, energy, aviation, medical, and similar. Linking the technology around a sector often brings wider benefits and returns, as well as the unexpected outcomes. The example of the renewable energy sector is seen, with some areas listed. The technology and data aspects are explored further, as well as the related consulting and services. With increasing demand for data, analytics, automation, and artificial intelligence, as well as the growth in risk, security, audit, regulatory compliance, and assurance, the need for related services and operations is part of the growth. The need for data, especially in quality, access, agreements, field matching, security, permissions, and aggregated products, is a key part of the opportunities emerging, like automation, artificial intelligence, and analytics. The roles of research, design, develop, test, operations and services, management, assurance, and consumption contribute to the overall growth and returns. Needed within the overall growth and development is the ongoing engagement and awareness across the stakeholders and activities, using themes of relevance to the diversity of stakeholders across the channels with targeting to sectors, scenarios, and roles. Topics can include security, engagement with and across the education sector, the priorities, needs, and expectations of government and what they seek from business, aspects of the integration like sharing information, how businesses transform around government services, and the grants and funding available. Again, a balanced, sustained, integrated approach is where the best success is seen. For a government seeking growth and community development, and for businesses wanting to bring their entrepreneurship, the ecosystem approach around a societal need is a way to achieve outcomes. Whether it is food, water, education, healthcare, transport, the staged incremental implementation around outcomes can be the driver. Aspects of a suggested stage approach around healthcare, water, and education are presented. These outcomes would see the required technology, data, and services developed alongside to support with a mixture of local and other resources used in a balanced approach. A range of policies would also apply. Other aspects as outlined are as follows, is likely to be part of the overall. A range of supporting and related infrastructure and services are required to varying extents with the location, nature, type, size, market sector, and societal needs. Government is often required to supply the underlying utilities required. The supporting services are often business derived, using the underlying services to provide the related services. Governments may be part of the demand for supporting services, as well as provide some of its own supporting services. The related services are often business supplied and driven. One of the emerging areas is the use of bureau models driven by industry sectors for shared services, as well as for accreditation and certification. It is the commonality of standards, protocols, procedures, and policies which enable business growth and development with societal benefits. The recurring theme of an integrated, balanced, staged ecosystem approach is again seen. A diverse range of stakeholders are involved who need to be taken on the journey. The differences in needs, the varying engagements, and the level of impacts upon them are all to be managed. The response from communities needs to be addressed and aligned to the required extent. Government policy with the familiar areas is part of the solution, but also includes the support for research as well as the role within security and national security. The need for, the support for, and the role of education is an integral part of these developments and in realizing return. The overall leadership, especially the business leadership, is part of the overall approach. Working with the share markets, the investments, regulatory and risk management are all part of realizing outcomes. This taking stakeholders on the journey is part of the value building and outcomes realization. Again, all of this is more than just the technology, and it is about an emergent behavior for achieving outcomes. The integrated ecosystem, staged, incremental, pragmatic, practical approach based around outcomes comes from an emergent behavior. The required functions and areas work to form an emergent behavior which achieves the required outcomes. The areas of policy, education, leadership, and funding are again seen within the formation of the emergent behavior. The overlap of activities, functions, and areas shows how the key activities are used across the overall approach for realizing the outcomes. Technology becomes a national security issue, an educational priority, and a cornerstone of economic policy because of the integrated technology hub approach, as well as these being needed to help shape and influence the integrated technology hubs. The last part of achieving the outcomes required is the on-the-ground pragmatics. It is the people implementing who achieve the required benefits and results. The leadership is required with the necessary vision, strategy, commitment. The decision-making with a response to circumstances and the risk-based approach are needed. Engagement is required with leaders being well connected with extensive contacts. The ability to manage partnerships, gain consensus, ongoing awareness, and stakeholder management are all needed, especially to bring people on the journey. Being able to implement and address the operations is also required. This includes management of regulatory, funding and budgets, resources, planning and scheduling, government and controls, collaboration, regulatory and compliance. With the mix required, success can be seen. The picture of what needs to come together has been painted. Please put to good use whether you are involved directly, helping others, or see the wider applicability within transformation. Thank you for your time. Please share with others. Feel free to subscribe and add your comments to your rewarding future.